everyone, it's Bretta Riches from runforefoot.com, and today I'm going to be talking to you about a topic related to running, which I am very passionate about, and that is arm swing. And the reason why I like to talk so much about arm swing when it comes to running injury-free with a forefoot strike, arm swing mechanics are completely overrated. When I first started running, I was told by many coaches to keep your arms down at your side, very low, and pump, keep them at a 90-degree angle and pump them back and forth. Basically, this felt very robotic and I didn't feel comfortable. And I would run this way and I actually would get injured quite a bit. And then I looked at how the pro runners ran, particularly the female pro runners, and the first thing I noticed was that particularly Tarnish Dababa, Vivian Chariot, and Mary Katani, just to name a few, that these runners don't run in a way that I was told to run, and they have very high arm carriage. Like, for example, Vivian Chariot keeps her arms very high and she moves like this in a way. Tarnish Dababa, her one arm crosses her midline quite a bit. And Mary Katani, great marathoner, she has very high arm carriage. Again, she kind of runs like this, which is completely different from how all the coaches were telling me how to run. And I thought, well, I'm just going to try what they're doing. And one thing that I noticed is that most female East African runners have their own signature way of moving. They don't run robotically. They have their own arm swing style. And as a result, they look more natural and they're very hard to beat. So at the mechanical level, maybe having a more natural feeling arm swing instead of abiding by classic standard biomechanics and running with your arms down at the side, 90-degree angle, pumping them back and forth, maybe that's not really working for a lot of us. It certainly wasn't working for me. So I thought to myself, well, I'm going to do what feels natural. And I also came across in the literature that when a runner runs in a way where they let their body, in terms of their upper body mechanics, when they let their body choose a preferred movement path, this is when their running economy is very sufficient. When they start deviating away from the preferred movement path of their body, so that means if they start running in a way that is different from what their body is used to, this starts to exert a lot more energy because they're running in a way that is unfamiliar. So when runners around me would advise me to drop my arm carriage and to swing them back and forth, like I said, like the robotic arm swing, it didn't feel right. It didn't feel natural. It actually felt like I was running with more resistance. So when I did my research and I looked at how the best runners in the world, who are, by the way, from East Africa, that these female runners aren't running in the same way that I was told. I said these runners had their own signature flow, their own arm swing style. Not one of them look like robots when they run. They don't have that rigid upper body movements. Like, they're not like this, right? They flow, their movements are very fluid, and you can tell that there's not a lot of tension in their upper body and that everything flows very rhythmically, which is key because the more comfortable you feel, the more energy you're going to save. And when you do things mechanically that prevent you from feeling comfortable, that feels like you're straining or restricting a natural movement, this may weigh you down and it may compromise your performance. And of course, I'm talking about arm swing. I truly believe that when it comes to foot strike mechanics, that there is a universally proper way to run. And I truly believe that's with a forefoot strike. I don't believe it's a heel strike landing. But when it comes to arm swing mechanics, maybe you should just do what feels natural. And of course, I'm talking about if you're struggling with injury and if you don't feel right when you run. If it feels very uncomfortable, maybe do stuff in terms of your arm swing mechanics, maybe let your arms swing in the way that they want to swing. So that is something I quickly wanted to talk about. So if you have adopted a forefoot strike landing and you believe that your foot strike and your leg swing mechanics are great, but something still doesn't feel right, maybe it's a problem with your arm swing, maybe you should rethink the classic style of arm swing and do something or adopt an arm swing that feels more natural. So for more information on forefoot running versus heel strike running, please head on over to my blog, runforefoot.com, where you will find tips on how to run barefoot, as well as my reviews and recommendations on barefoot-inspired footwear Thanks for listening and watching, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel to stay updated on the latest research on biomechanics. Have fun out there on the roads. Bye for now.